Basically, the next section here that we're going to go over is something to deal with Twitch, okay? Because Twitch made a change a while ago where they experimented with a little feature. So let's take a listen as to what they did, okay? Let's take a listen as to what they did.
When we make recommendations to our users, we love encouraging and supporting smaller streamers. We love small communities. We've actually done a lot of experiments where we tried to see, oh, what if we increase the number of small streamers, and like we've like adjusted things to see if that would work. The answer is it didn't work. Interestingly, it actually led to less hours watched on the platform. It actually didn't grow the smaller streamers. Okay. When we make recommendations to our
Again, just to reiterate here, kind of what he's saying is that supposedly Twitch did experiment by increasing the amount of small streamers in the discovery aspect, right? Right, kind of pushing some small streamers a little bit more to try to maybe help potentially grow them a little bit. And he states, well, it didn't work. And in fact, it led to overall less hours watched across the whole platform, which I find quite interesting because, I mean, that is a very, very big margin to say that the hours watched across the entire platform decreased. That is, I mean, that's wild. Okay, that is very, very wild. But I'm very curious to see, like, I'm very curious on what his idea of small streamers was, right? And now I've seen a couple comments and stuff about that, like on this, and that is like, oh well, yeah, of course, like just being on the front page doesn't necessarily mean anything, right? It doesn't mean that you're gonna grow at all. It doesn't really matter, right? If you don't provide the content or whatnot, then it's not gonna really grow you. And I think that's fair. I think that's fine. However, there's a couple different parts to the story though, because, well, it depends on how are you pushing these small streamers, because let's be honest, a majority of individuals, I would say, the vast majority probably enjoy being in a channel that's got a bunch of viewers. It's got a lot of other people's. They don't feel like they're the only person watching that live stream, right? People like that. You tune into Summit 1G, XQC's chat, you're not alone watching that individual. There are a lot of other people, and there's a lot of people typing. But even then, like even a smaller channel or whatever, 50s to 100 viewers, as long as there's other people typing in chat, it feels a little bit better. If you are the only person in the chat, though, I think, in my opinion, that kind of the majority doesn't really like that. Okay, the majority of people don't like that. There are some people who specifically look for that, or that's what they care about, which is fine, right? That's perfectly fine. But I would say that the majority don't. Okay. um and like it all depends on how they were pushed right into. They said that they put more into more discovery surfaces, right? And that it led to less hours watched on the platform, which is, I mean, this is a very bold statement. I mean, saying that by pushing small streamers led to less hours watched on the entire platform, that is, I mean, that is very, very bold, right? Very, very bold. And it actually didn't grow the small streamers. Now, again, how small are we talking here? Because in my opinion, again, it really depends, man. I browse small streamers on Kick, for example, a lot. I fly through small streamers channels, and there's a couple things I look for, right? I look for, a decent quality video, making sure their OBS settings are looking pretty good. I look for a little bit of effort in their camera, right? Like if they're just sitting completely in the dark, if there's no reason for it, then what the heck's going on, right? Like if there's no reason for it. If I type in chat or whatever, right? I mean, the response should be pretty quick, in my opinion. It really depends on what's going on, okay? Like for me, in my opinion, the way I run my channels, like, like Shane, I see your message, right? But I'm talking about a topic, I'm ranting about a topic right now. So I'm gonna, I'll get to that in a little bit, right? Like that's the kind of way that I run mine. So I think responding to chat, I know some people are like, oh my God, the moment that message is in chat, they should respond, right? They should respond instantly. For me, in my opinion, again, it's all my opinion. It really depends, right? It really depends on it really depends on, what's going on, right? What is happening exactly, so yeah. But you also did say a name specific, which again I avoid in my channel. But the other half, though, some people wouldn't be relevant without the front page. um I mean, yeah, I mean, the front page, man, it does increase viewership, man. When you go on that front page, your viewership typically does increase. It does. It skyrockets. It goes up. Okay? It goes up. Whether there's actual people watching you or not, I, I, I don't know, right? Because I don't think so. There are a lot of people, like when I'm on front page and stuff, there are a good amount of people who do tune into the stream. Whether they stay or not is not a lot. There's not a lot of people who typically end up staying in the stream, which is fine. Okay, which is fine. All right. By the way, do you guys want music or no? But which is fine. But anyways, the whole idea that the whole reason why I'm talking about this is because, again, I think it kind of goes down, and it really goes down to the quality and the effort that people put into their stream. For the good streamers, if you throw up any small streamer in front of somebody, that's not going to do anything, right? If that streamer's content, or the quality of their content is just the bare minimum effort, then I mean, it's gonna look worse, right? It's gonna look worse. So that's why, again, I go back to my idea here that I've said 1,000 times. This front page, make it like a Netflix, make it like a YouTube, right? Where, hey, if you sit here and you watch a lot of just chatting, when you add custom tags to the platform in 5 years from now, at least if people watch streams that is very consistent with a news tag or information tag, their front page is, again, customized a little bit. Their front page kind of pushes people who kind of have those tags, right? And it kind of, it kind of filters them out. It's not always the biggest streamer on top. But again, I think there's a bit of that vetting process as well of, hey, do they actually seem to have some effort that they put into their stream? Do they have, a little light on their face to try to make their camera look good? Or are they just, sitting here like this, obviously, I have the light from the window, which isn't even that bad, and I have a crazy good camera, but it's kind of like that idea there. I don't know if that makes sense, if I'm getting my idea across, but again, um, Twitch and Kick, both, I mean, let's be honest, they're pretty similar to how they do the front page and stuff, right? In fact, I'd say Twitch's front page is honestly a little bit better than Kick's at the moment. But think of going to Netflix, right? If you watch a lot of animes on Netflix, guess what you're going to be recommended? Animes. That's what you're going to be recommended. But you know what? None of these platforms do. They don't really do that. Well, I mean, Twitch kind of does that, but again, I think there's some ways that you could make it better, right? So again, I just kind of wanted to throw out this and kind of cover this because, yeah, I mean, it depends on the smaller streamers that you put into those discovery things. Which again would be like, oh, well, favoritism. You're picking and choosing who you like and who you don't like. Listen, man, at the end of the day, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know what to tell. If you don't put any effort into your content, then like, why would the platform wanna try to like push you a bit, you know? Um, so yeah, it's kind of like all over the place, in my opinion, but I mean, it does make sense. I feel like, again, the less hours watching the platform in total is a big bold statement, but and actually didn't grow the smaller streamers. It's going to take a long time. You need to be truly extraordinary, truly unique in order to grow as a small streamer. Even if you're on the front page 24/7, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You need to be unique in your content, and you need to get people to like you. If you're just sitting there playing Call of Duty and you're not really doing anything super crazy unique, again, it's going to be a little bit hard. Not saying that you won't grow, but it's going to be a little bit hard. And the idea is not followers either. I'm talking returning viewership. That's the biggest statistic. How many of those people tune back into your stream over time? right? Because follower count is, again, it doesn't really matter. Okay, it really doesn't. Yo, what up, Legacy Mike? Welcome back, KCTV. What are we talking about, boss? We're talking about Twitch, or DJ Clancy here, Dan Clancy, stated that Twitch messed around with the idea of pushing smaller streamers more, and ultimately they stopped doing it because they discovered, they kind of found, they thought that it looked like there was less hours watching the platform and that it didn't actually grow the smaller streamers. So basically it's like we messed around with the idea of just like pushing them more, and then just we're done, right? And it goes back to the idea of, oh well, these people say, well, oh well, it's not the platform's job to push you. And you're right, you're right. However, in my opinion, it is the platform's job to push the content that the consumer might like, that the viewer might like. If they watch, again, a lot of CS2 streams, this, I mean, well, CS2 is kind of in the meta right now because of the tournaments, but like if they watch a lot of Minecraft streams, for example, okay, and that's what they watch a ton of Minecraft streams. You realize how many times a Minecraft stream is up here on the very top? Very, very rare. It's insanely rare. You know, again, pushing some more Minecraft streams. Push, I think custom tags would help with this. Push the content that the viewer likes to watch. It's exactly what these streaming platforms do, Netflix and YouTube and stuff like that, man. Right? You go to your YouTube homepage. Guess what? If you watch a lot of whatever, you watch a lot of I don't know, Rocket League content, guess what's going to show up on your front page on YouTube? Some Rocket League content. And it will sometimes be channels that are huge. It'll sometimes be channels that are not. I mean, bro, I just look at this. I just opened up my YouTube homepage and take a look. Yeah, 29K. There's a couple thousand views here. Oh, this person here, one day ago, 867 views on my homepage. Let me go see how many subs he's got. Oh, he's got a lot of subs. What the heck? But regardless, though, there's a couple times he doesn't get. Whoa, that guy's got a lot of subs, but not a ton of views. But again, there's multiple times here where the front page or my YouTube and stuff has videos from people who have barely any subs, right? Barely any subs. And that's, again, that idea of like, yeah, we trickle in some of the big boys, but we also have some of the small ones too. And you might be interested based on what you watch. So I know I went on a big ramble there, but hopefully I kind of got my idea across with what you can do with the front page, and it would help small streamers. Maybe not a ton, but occasionally a small streamer might be able to get up there, and it's all customized towards what people typically like to watch. You know, so I figured I'd throw that out there and give my opinion on that because. You know, there's a couple different ways to take that. Twitch experimented with it, but there's a couple different ways to experiment with it. So I don't know if I got my idea across or if that makes sense to you, but yeah.